Hey everybody, this is Jeff here once again. Just had another update on 1350 TOS Enterprise Progress. And as you can see here, all of these windows are glowing blue. Now that's not because I went and painted them, that's because they're all masked off. And what it was, you know, none other than just regular blue masking tape that I cut into little tiny rectangles and got over the windows. It's very, very simple. At first I was thinking, you know, I was sitting over here fretting over the fact that I was going to need to get, I know Aztec Dummy has window masks for this model kit, but I mean, most of the windows are rectangles. And it's very easy to cut rectangles out of tape. So, went ahead and did that for this. As you can see, we got them going down the pylons. On the rears, I've got to get this one, ion pod masked off. Over here on the other side, we've got that one taken care of, and all the windows on this side as well have been masked off. May have one or two that I may need to go back and redo on this side here, but you know, that'd be no biggie. All of what, 2-3 minutes I believe it took me, you know, between cutting all of them and putting them on the ship. You know, maybe giving me an hour's worth of work right there. You know, not very much time at all. And even for the small little round ones, what I just did was, you know, just a really, really thin strip, and then I cut it. Of course, it's going to cut square, but once you get it in there and then you press it and fit it around on the inside of the window port itself, comes out round. So, works out fine. And plus, you know, there's always just a little bit of work you're going to have to do around your windows anyway after you prime and paint and then pull your window masks off and everything. It's just a little bit you're going to have to do still, so, you know, always be prepared for that. Let me see, you know, got that taken care of. It was just really, really simple and everything. You know, just lay your tape down. Getting the width right was probably the most difficult challenge of all of it, and even that wasn't difficult. So, you know, you can see this strip right here of tape that I've got laid out is about the width of the majority of the windows on the ship. So, and as you can see, all these little tiny lines was where I had gone through and cut on both sides of this tape. So, like I said, it looks like it may have been a whole lot, but it really wasn't, and it was really, really cheap. You know, the Blue Painter's tape is only a few bucks versus 15 bucks worth of the painting masks. And if something were to happen, like if you've gone through, you've done your painting, and you pull your windows off, see what they look like, and oh my goodness, you got to go and put them back on there again to go and get something else you want to do, then you have to go through and get the paint masks all over again. Well, some of us just ain't got that kind of cash. So, masking tape cut into rectangles and little squares, you know, poked inside of the little round portholes, and you're good to go. So, another thing on this, what I forgot to mention on the last video, something I want to talk about, were the ion pods. Actually, as you can see here, if you look at it from that angle right there, if I can get it to, if it will focus in for us, which I'm not sure if it will or not. Come on, thing. But the ion pod, if you look, it's jutting out quite a bit more than they usually do. And the reason behind it was I had a little accident when I was getting those in there. And what it was that, you know, I have UV lights inside of here. They were 5mm ground all the way down to fit inside of the little housing. Here are the two on the white sprue for the white parts that you stick on there, you know, if you were using for like not lighting, because not very much light is, actually no lights coming through here pretty much at all. But you know, those are the parts, and they stick through there on the little holes down there, and it sticks out just a little bit. Well, like I said, I had a little accident. I was wanting to see what that looked like with all the lighting to make sure I was getting no UV light bleeding upwards through these windows. Because, you know, it'd suck if you got white light coming through here, that little bit of green coming through here, and then all of a sudden when this fat flash is purple, all these windows change to purple for a good, let me see, I think I got it flashing at a rate of 1.2 seconds. Of course, that may change. But, you know, when it flashes on, all those turn purple. So, you know, it's all masked off and everything. Well, I went to put power to that UV light and forgot that they are not resisted. The resistor's on the board itself, so that when it's hooked up into the board, it's catching resistance from there and, you know, keeping the light flashing. Forgot that, and I wound up burning out a light. So I was working to get one off, and I wound up breaking this part right here where the light goes through it. When I was pulling it out, it broke off on the ship. I had it glued up in there nice and well. So what I wound up having to do, and it was a very easy fix and very cool actually, especially if you're not using the parts that come with the, you know, for the lighting kit. You know, like I said, my Bazaar collectors, I made my own. So let me see, here's the part for the Bazaar collector that comes with the model kit. And got the little Christmas tree bulb looking things that stick up in there. And then you have these 5 small circles around here that will simulate the flashing lights for the blue and the green and the red, those flashing lights. And here's a sprue for those parts. Well, these parts slide perfectly into these holes. Found that out really fast. They slide perfectly into there. So you can see that this plastic piece sticking out right here. And gee, I really wish that would focus, but it does not want to cooperate with me tonight, so I'm not fixing to fight with it anyway. But that bulb right there is one of these parts. There we go. Yeah, it's one of those parts. And what I did was I had taken one of these, I ground all of that off right there on the top that would actually stick out of the hole. I ground that off and let the open hole on it, and of course the light goes on the inside in there, and have that glued in from the inside. And then that bit right there, which would be one of these, let's see, which would be one of these right here, I stuck that in from the outside and glued it from the outside. And when the light's on and it's flashing, it's doing the exact same job as if it was this, you know, just this entire piece right here. So that really saved my hind end when I did that. It was so close. I was freaking out, like, oh my goodness, how am I going to fix this? And then when I thought about the fact that I wasn't using this at all, and I thought about it, and it's like, oh, well, I've got temporary fixes right here. So even if I had another little accident, well, that was before I started putting the ship together, then I could have gone back and fixed it yet again and would have been okay with it. So, you know, that was just my little heads up right there. So, but as far as this ship goes, I go forth and continue on. As you can see, we've got a little bit of puttying gone down the seam of this ship and some sanding as well. I mean, I run my finger across here and that's like so smooth, and what makes it smooth is a little sanding sponge I picked up, I believe, at Hobby Lobby up in Hot Springs. Pick that up, and it has a very fine side, and then it has a uber fine side. So, you know, very fine side at first for the little sanding, get it done. Then the uber fine side to just get it baby bottom smooth. And it's making it really nice. So I have to go through and continue that onward. So hopefully by tomorrow night or Tuesday, at the very most by the midweek, the exterior, you know, this part of the ship, the secondary hull, you know, all this should be at the least primed all the way around, and maybe even with possibly with the first coat of the hull color on it, which would be very nice. So can't wait to see what that's gonna look like. You know, I kind of got a little slowed up after I got this together as far as like these windows, but once I just started cutting mass out of the tape and putting it on there, it just started going at warp speed, you know, just that quick. It was so easy and so nice. So I will continue on with this kit. Hope anything that I pass along with you help you out. And if not, I appreciate you watching the vid anyway. And as I always like saying, those of you out there building models, keep on building, and I will talk to you guys a little bit later on. You guys have a wonderful night and a wonderful week.